Well, hello, good morning, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Becky. I'm a fully qualified massage therapist, Reiki healer, and soul worker. And today's video is my very small, minimal collection of oracle cards. Now, to some of you, it may come as no surprise that all my decks are actually by the same author, writer, Rebecca Campbell. I love her approach to spirituality. I love her clean aesthetic lines and the ethereal look that she does in her oracle cards, as well as her meditations and online resources. So if you haven't heard of Rebecca Campbell, I will leave a link to her website down below where you can get very open insights into the world of spirituality. She does oracle readings of the day. She obviously talks about her oracle decks, and she also has several books which I have read over the years, and they have been a key part of my spiritual journey. So go ahead and check her out down below. Now, like I said, my decks are very minimal. I've got 4 here to show you, all by Rebecca Campbell, but they each have a different theme to them. So I'm going to talk you through why I like each and every one of the decks. They are different, but this is not to say that you need all of them. So please don't feel any pressure. This is just the collection that I wanted to have because I mainly use them in my therapy here as a therapist. Just get the deck that calls to you, or if you just enjoy having a little chit chat with me, then grab yourself a drink and we're going to get cracking with deck number 1. Now, it will come as no surprise to regular viewers of my channel who have been seeing my oracle readings that this is deck number 1, and actually this is the most recent deck that I've bought of Rebecca Campbell's, and it is the Ancient Stones Oracle deck. And it is centered all around ancient stones, or stones of significance, historical significance, or stones that you wouldn't necessarily think as spiritual, but actually I've learned a lot about historical landmarks from this deck, not only with the spiritual guidance as well. All of Rebecca Campbell's decks come in this triangular shape, mainly because you can use this to place cards within. So you would place them as an oracle reading, for example. You could read a card like that. You could also put another card like that and have 2 for the day, or you could just simply use them as a pot. If you were to go card a day and just pull one out without shuffling, you could use this as the pot to collect your cards as well. So we're going to just pop that on the side for now. Now, what I love about Rebecca Campbell's decks are that every deck comes with an affirmation card. So this is an Ancient Oracle Stones attunement, so that you can go through that, you cleanse the deck, you connect with your deck. And then she also has a little note to the reader and her little QR code if you want to find out more about the audio and visual version. So that is also a link to her website there. So I do like the fact that she includes one of these in each deck. So I'll show you them as we go through. So this is a 44 card deck oracle. And what I love about Rebecca Campbell is she has such attention to detail. So inside there is a beautiful photograph of holding hands on both inside, left and right. And on the bottom, ancestors guide me. So there's no part of this packaging that hasn't been designed and thought of intentionally. And it's just a really nice, strong box as well. So you know it's going to last. It's not like some of the cheaper decks that just feel really flimsy. Now the backs of these have a beautiful stone carving with dandelions, a little bit of light and some foliage up at the top here. So it looks like a tree to me, but you can make your own interpretation with it. And the cards have various figures or stones of some kind. And as I show you, you can get the ethereal look that I'm telling you about. And each card also has a key sort of sentence and a few key words of what the card is about, just to get your soul starting to inquire and open and to guide you. And then you literally do just open yourself up and interpret the card as you will. And that's what I love about these collage type cards, because each and every time you pick a card out, whether you've picked it out for the first time or the 40th time, there's always something new that resonates and speaks to your heart. So it's always fresh. You're always learning about yourself, and it's not necessarily something to take literally. It is a reflection tool, and I do really love that. I mean, again, some of the cards are just beautiful, uplifting cards. Now, the one thing I would say is that there still isn't quite enough diversity in terms of the figures. They're all predominantly white, very few males as well. But I do like the fact that there's a lot of different aged women in it. So that is really great. I mean, there's one guy in there. So I think I'd like to see that a little bit more in the future. However, I'm fully aware of the fact that getting stock images for decks, and I know for a fact that Rebecca has used quite often her friends and family and loved ones as the photos, because I know in one of the Rose Oracle cards, she's got her grandmother, she's got her friends, she's got colleagues. So she's put significant people that mean a lot to her in the decks and in the photographs. So I could be jumping the gun a little bit with saying that. However, I think that is a way to go forwards, is to be more inclusive, because me as a white person, I don't see it as much, but as we're opening up and connecting with everybody and making sure that as spiritual women and spiritual souls, we connect on all levels, you know, we have no dividing. So I just think that would be really great. So this is the guidebook you get with it. It's a really nice, thick, chunky guidebook. Again, the same message at the beginning of the book. It's nice and easy to read. It's got the same text that Rebecca uses for all her books. Oops. It's got a nice clear page. The only thing I wish is that the photographs were in colour and it was glossy, a glossy book. But again, I'm nitpicking here. I always turn the corners over where I've found reading significant. And I'm already making a little bit of a dent in this book, seeing as it's just new. I'm still finding that it's showing me new things all the time. Oh, and at the end here, you can download Rebecca's app, so you can always listen to the audio versions as well if you struggle to read or you're blind. That's a really, really lovely thing that she does. So she makes it available to more people. I'm not sure whether you can get it in Braille, and I'm not sure if you can get it in a large print version, but again, maybe that's something that should be talked of in the future, so that it makes it more accessible to all different people from all different walks of life. But I'm really loving her easy access decks. Oh, and she also has started doing travel-sized ones in a tin. So I know that the Rose Oracle deck, for instance, is in a small size. Whether or not she'll do that for all of them, again, that would be great. So this one is really beautiful. And like I say, there are just so many beautiful photographs in this deck. And some will be really powerful and iconic for you to connect with, and others not so much. So here we go. This is a good example. So you've got a young girl, a medium-aged woman, and then an older woman. So I like the fact that she brings in the generations with her work. Oh look, there's another bloke. There's a bloke. So the colour scheme of this deck is lots of greens, as you can imagine, medium blues, a little bit of light kind of sky. That one's beautiful. But it's got a very earthy, rich, like mossy green, like summery, thirst-quenching feel to it. And it's very sumptuous. That's the word I'm thinking of. And this one again, it's really, really beautiful. So you get the idea with the ancient healing stones. And I'm just going to read the back of the deck for you, and then we will move on to the next one. So ancient stones hold the sacred energy of the earth. They are a portal to reach back in time, to connect with the wisdom of the ancients and our ancestors. Uncover lost wisdom with these powerful guardians and teachers and attune to their energy for healing, guidance, and protection. So that is the Ancient Stones Oracle deck. So moving on now to Rebecca's third deck. So that one that I've just shown you is her latest one. This was the one that was published just before that, probably about a year or so before. And this is the Healing Waters Oracle deck. Same packaging, same design. Again, very thoughtful, with every surface having something on it. Same portal kind of triangular design. So we're going to set that aside. And this one says, from the watery world of the mother to the sacred waters of this world, the physical and mystical element of water has been revered since ancient times as holding the power to heal. Unlock the sacred wisdom of the waters and your innate capacity to heal with this stunning oracle. Now, I must confess, this one I found the hardest to connect with. I don't know what it is, because I thought I would really sink right into it and use it a lot, but I haven't found that to be the case. And I'm still trying to figure out why. Maybe it's just because the others have drawn me more, so I feel always drawn to those first, and I haven't given this one enough of a chance. But anyway, we will dive into it at some point on the channel, because I will be going through all of these decks with my oracle readings of the day. So stay tuned for that. Now this is, again, the oracle attunement from the deck and Rebecca's little message on the back. So like I said, each deck comes with one of those. Now the back of this deck is really simple. It's just got a little crystal or a center orb or a bit of energy there, a little bit kaleidoscopy, and just a simple blue design. So nice and simple. So these are very different in their look, as you can see. Very blue, very light. Oops, that's the wrong way. If you want me to go through the whole decks and do a sort of walkthrough, let me know. I can do that. I just didn't know whether that would be something that you'd be interested in. The artwork is very beautiful, very ethereal. A lot of women featured in the centre. I think predominantly her decks are aimed at women, because obviously that's the people and the souls that she's been working with. She's calling women to wake up and connect to their feminine energy and to be the sacred goddesses that they've been shut down and locked away from. So her calling is to reunite and create these priestesses within the world again. And that's very much where my calling is coming from. Don't ask me why, but just that's what it seems to be. That's why I think predominantly her decks are aimed at women. But you could use this as a man as well. It's not gender specific. It's only up to you whether you resonate with it or not. They are just very, very beautiful, but lighter in their colour schemes and their focus. And again, they will be focusing each time on something related to water. And water is predominantly our emotions, whereas earth is more about our grounding, our security, our innate roots of where we come from. So each presiding energy of a deck has an overall kind of feeling and emotion. So again, what do you resonate with? Are you water? Are you earth? The bottom deck is a little bit more green than blue. Even though this is the Ancient Stones Oracle deck, the bar is blue. These are green, maybe just to stand out a little bit more against the contrast of the blue cards. Keyword, and then some inspirational words to help sort of your creative juices flowing. I mean, this one's really beautiful as well. So that is the Healing Waters Oracle deck. Same guidebook, and I haven't actually tabbed over hardly any of these ones, because like I said, haven't used this deck as much because I just haven't connected with it as deeply, but it's still a beautiful deck nonetheless. So this next deck, which is the Rose Oracle deck from Rebecca Campbell, is really surprising me. I didn't think I'd connect with it as much as I have done, and time again, when I work with this deck, it just speaks to my heart and my soul so deeply. So I personally feel that there's still more work to do with this. Whereas the Healing Waters one, I haven't found that in the same way. Don't get me wrong, it's still profound, but this one, oh, it just gets me in my soul. Beautiful packaging, in pinks nonetheless. Same thoughtful details to the packaging, same theme overall, same opening. And this one says, "The rose is a symbol of goddesses of old, and she holds potent medicine for these times. This oracle creates space for you to connect with her energy, wisdom, and breathtaking beauty. May her healing mysteries call you home to your true nature." And there we have it. It's just beautiful. Again, it says plant yourself here inside, and it's like a little bit of water to contrast the pink. Same rose oracle attunement and note from Rebecca. Same little guidebook. And this one is probably my most worn, like nearly every one has been tabbed over. So I have found significant treasure within this book. I do love this deck so much. So if you want to work with goddess energy, feminine energy, healing on your womb center, your hips, sort of deep connection to source and to Mother Gaia, this is the deck for you. Now this one again is slightly kaleidoscopic, lots of pinks, lots of roses, little bit of ethereal light. I think I can see a slight face in there as well, but I'm not too sure about that. So these ones, very pink, very purple. Again, very ethereal with the style of artwork. This one, oh, just love it. The energy of Sophia, so potent. See, that's Rebecca's friend, I seem to remember. That imagery, I don't know what it is, but it just speaks to me, and it's like mysterious and seductive and a bit dark, but in a positive way. When I was working on my inner child, this card came out a lot. Like every other day it would come out. It's like the child within, the child within. I'm like, okay, Spirit, I hear you. I'm going to keep going. Here we go. This one is Rebecca's grandmother up at the top there. And I just thought that was so wonderful. A way to celebrate her and honour her as a woman, and as the sort of genealogy line going through the generations. And she is holding and looking down at the younger woman down below. It's just beautiful. I really do love that. There is symbols within the cards, and whether or not you want to connect with that and know sort of the in-depth knowledge about the card, or whether you just want to use them as a healing tool, that is entirely up to you. I just thought it was a beautiful element to bring into it, and there is even more intention behind the creation of the deck rather than just random images. They have been thoughtfully and intentionally brought in. Oh, here we go again. Here is Rebecca's grandmother up there, and I'm not sure about the other women, but there will have been a reason why these images were picked. I like that about a deck, when I know that there's been more thought gone into something. So they really are a beautiful deck. And some of them are darker images and some of them are light. And I like that mix, because otherwise they can feel a bit too samey. So the Rose deck, by far, has been the most recent powerful deck. And I love it to bits. So I cannot wait to do my daily oracle readings with this deck, because I think it's going to be really beautiful for you and I to share that time together. But we've still got the rest of the Ancient Stones deck to do yet, so it's going to be coming in the new year. This is the deck that started it all. This is the Starseed Oracle, and this was Rebecca's first deck that she did. Because I really connect with being a Starseed myself, this was the deck that just started everything, and I wanted to learn more about being a Starseed and what feelings I had, you know, could I explain them? Was there more knowledge and deeper understanding that I could delve into, but in a easy format? And Oracle cards, I think, do that. They open the doorway of exploration, understanding, and you working that spiritual muscle by using these cards, and they're in a bite-sized chunk. So I personally use Oracle cards a card a day. I don't kind of do a reading with them in the same sense that you could. But again, everyone's individual. So the back of this one says, have you always had a longing for home without really knowing what that meant? Yeah. I always just wanted to tap out of this world and go home. I didn't know where home was, but I knew it wasn't here. Turns out I'm a starseed, and that's why. If so, you could be a starseed soul. This activating oracle will help you to unlock your soul gifts, connect with your cosmic origins, and remember who you truly are. And my God, has this deck done that for me. In my pain and my trauma of my past, I was always wanting to escape. I didn't connect very well with people here. I still don't resonate with a lot of people around me, but I understand it now because I've connected with my starseed part of me, or all of me. I've healed that disconnect of wanting to escape. I've looked at that journey of the fact that I chose to be here. I chose to have this life and to have a human experience. And so I have no need to tap out now because I've got full healing, full connection with my starseed part of me. I understand my soul contract and my soul agreements that I've made. And so now, instead of this being a tool that helped heal that pain, now it's an empowering tool. So it's also changed through the years of me working alongside with this deck. So that's why I find this deck just so utterly incredible. Some of these cards I'd look at and I'd just weep. And I wouldn't even understand why I was weeping. But it would just speak to me of things that my soul were trying to remember, and stories and dialogues that I could feel within me, but there were no words. I just felt so utterly transformed by these cards in such a deep way. And as you can tell, this is very different artwork, even though it's in the same style. Like, oh my God, that one. Oh, it's just, they still do. They just literally lift me open, crack me open, and give me a dialogue that just beyond anything. Even though I know I said that Rose Oracle has been really transformative with me and my sacred feminine, this one will always be my beloved deck because it was the one that started it all. It helped me start to feel complete within myself and not a freak. And I would love to hear from any of you if you have had a similar experience with the Starseed Oracle deck. I haven't yet come across anyone who's had quite an impact like what I've been feeling with it. But yeah, just absolutely love this deck. I think I was meant to travel among the stars, but we haven't yet got that in the physical sense, but I know spiritually I am. That one. Oh. So if this has been something that you've been wanting to look into and you haven't really delved into the world of oracle decks, but you'd like to, if you like the look of Rebecca's decks, because again, they're not intimidating, they're very light with their art style, like I said, they're easy to understand. And you will find that over time of spending time with them, you will begin to open yourself up. And they're not a criticism, they're not something that take over your life. You have free will when you read these decks. It is a healing tool, it is a reflection tool, almost like chatting with a friend like we're doing now, or looking in the mirror and, you know, opening yourself up in a safe space. So use them in that way, and you will find that you will fall in love not only with the deck that you choose, but also in understanding yourself as well. And that's truly what I love about having an oracle deck. You can sit there quietly. You can even just, like a book, you could just go through them, look at the pictures, feel a connection with them. A particular card jumps out at you, read more about it and sit with it. Or you just pick a card for the day. I mean, I shuffle the deck and pick a card out at random, or they will jump out at you and I'm like, thank you, Spirit. That's my message for today. Or you could do various card readings, which are in all of the books. So for you to discover more about yourself and to also discover which deck works with you best. So we have the Starseed Oracle. the Healing Waters Oracle, and that's the difference between the two packaging. Very similar blue kind of colour. And then we have the Rose Oracle and the Ancient Stones. So those are very different in their packaging. And if you want to see the other ones, so there's that one and that one. See, there you go. So these two are the most similar in their packaging style. And the other thing I wanted to mention was that the artwork is by Katie Louise on this one, Katie Louise on this one, Katie Louise on that one, and the original one is by Danielle Noel, and Danielle Noel also has her own oracle decks. So if you are interested in her artwork style and you can see the difference between the two styles, then go check out Danielle Noel. I personally, having had several of her decks, Danielle Noel's, and worked with this deck a lot. This deck in particular is amazing, but I found that working with Danielle Noel's decks, they weren't as profound as these. So, individual taste, I guess. But there is that option out there as well. Well, that is it for the Oracle decks. Like I said, very small, very minimal, but I find personally that Rebecca Campbell's decks are the best that work well with me, and I do like the fact that I've got her whole collection. So whether or not she brings out any more, we will see. But if she does, I will probably buy it just for working with my clients here and with my own healing journey. So let me know down below which deck you love, if you've got any of them, how you find working with them, or if you've been looking into getting one and this has helped you in any way, I'd love to know. Thank you so much for joining me today, beautiful soul. And until next time, breathe in life every day. Namaste. Oh, and by the way, if you did like this video, check out this one next. I hope you'll love it.